first I want to break down Melania's statement. Okay. Give these victims their opportunity to testify under oath in front of Congress with the power of sworn testimony. Each and every woman should have her day to tell her story in public if she wishes, and then her testimony should be permanently entered into the congressional record. Then and only then will we have the truth. Okay. How many times? Like, how many times, how many different ways are we going to put the onus on the victims to bring their perpetrators to justice? They have already spoken ad nauseum, on end, a million times. I literally can't imagine what they're going through and what they have been going through for decades. I think about the courage that it took 15-year-old little me, tiny little me, to tell my mother that my stepdad was abusing me. I think about the fear that I had that I could be homeless, that my mom would abandon me, that she would believe him, that I could go to a foster home and something would be even worse. I knew what a male predator looks like. I didn't want to be introduced to another. I didn't know if I would be able to have food, clothing, water. And I remember thinking, I can't keep living like this. Like, something has got to give. And so I summoned the courage to tell my mom. And she told me, never talk about this. And I didn't for a while. We buried it. But these Epstein survivors, the courage that it takes to go up against the most powerful men in America and the globe, the influence, the money, what they have, I cannot imagine how terrifying that must be. And for Melania Trump to get in front of the president's podium and make a statement that they need to, say everything in front of Congress because then we'll know the truth. No, we've heard the truth from them. They've said the truth. What we don't know are the perpetrators' names. That's all we don't know. What the government is covering up is the people that are responsible for this. So unredact the files, release them. It's not victims' job to have to endure what they endured, and then they have to speak out against the perpetrator, and then they have to be the one to handcuff him, and then they have to be the one to put him in jail, and then they have to be the one to keep him there. Like, the onus has gone too far, and I feel very passionately about that. All right. Did you or did you not see the picture that has now been deleted of Donald Trump likening himself to Jesus? Okay, so mainstream media is pointing out the fact that it's really awful to liken yourself to Jesus. But last time I checked, I think since 2019, he's been saying he's the chosen one, and his followers call him Jesus, or like the second coming of Jesus. So I'm just kind of confused as to why this is a deal. Like, why now? Probably because gas prices are really high and inflation. It's probably about money because this has been going on for a long time. However, I think we're kind of missing how this image perfectly encapsulates all of the problems with our country and him running it. It is perfect. So the number one thing that I want to say that we're not saying, and I'm really unsure as to why we're not saying it, that this AI slot photo that he didn't make but he did put up, it's all white people. Like, we got a white guy with a beard, we got a white girl with brown hair doing like the we got a white dude, an older white dude with a beard laying down, we got a nurse, white woman, and then we got a military white man, and then we got Trump, who's white. If we could see the angels up above, I have a strong inclination that they would also be white. An American flag and an eagle, whose face is white. Donald Trump is saving a very specific community. Very specific. He does think of himself as Jesus. And in this picture, he's told you who he believes is worthy of being saved. Okay? And it just feels very telling to me. Obviously, Donald Trump is the highest human living creature who is likening himself to Jesus with like the fireballs coming out of his hands. And then below that are the two white men. The white military man looking up to Donald Trump like he is Jesus. And the white bearded man who looks to be like a farmer, construction worker, everyday man. Both are wearing ball caps. Both are wearing like white, like, one's like a military cap, but the other one feels like a trucker cap. This feels very specific to a very specific type of group. Now, below the three men, below them, below the men, are two white women who look very angelic and serene. One is a woman who's a picture perfection woman. Do you know why? Because she's serving. She's a nurse. She's there to do her job and to take care of as this maternal, loving creature, white, white, white woman. And then beside her, what's the other important person? A white woman who's praying. She's the only one that's praying. But she certainly looks like she's on her knees. Just like MAGA men like them, on their knees, praying. Only below that is the older white man with the beard who is on his deathbed, right? Like he's dying. But Jesus is going to bring him back because he's white and he's a man. And that's what's important in this administration. So I really value that there's nothing hidden in this image. Like, very straightforward. You know, any people of color? Are there children? Any like little children? No. Fuck the children. Epstein files. Too soon. Yeah. Something else that's quite ironic that I feel like isn't being talked about, but does directly tie into what I just said, is that this is the first time since the 70s or 80s that men 18 to 25 will automatically be enlisted in the war. This is a new Trump policy that went into his big, beautiful bill. So if you are Gen Z and you are a man, 18 to 25, you will automatically be enlisted in the draft, which is mighty convenient for Trump considering that we're at war. So, MAGA, Gen Z, how does it feel to know that your vote could cost you your life? We don't have boots on the ground yet, but I don't have any confidence that we're getting out of this war anytime soon, or that there's going to be an end to a conflict. And when you change a department from Department of Defense to Department of War, and all you want is more money into a war, and when Trump blatantly comes out and says, we can't pay for your health care, we can't pay for Medicaid, we can't pay for daycare, we need more money for war, what message are you sending? Well, I think that war makes money. And Trump's really interested in money and himself and his narcissism, just like everyone else he surrounds himself with. I think it's also very telling that it's only men who are being enlisted. Pete Hegseth is trying to get out all the women and minorities. So it makes sense, right, that the only ones that are automatically listed are the men who are 18 to 25. Yeah. I want to remind MAGA men that he doesn't give a shit about you. That you are a means to an end for him. He needs your vote. He doesn't need you. He's called you trash. He's called you dumb. He said he surrounds himself with losers because he likes to feel successful. At what point do you realize that this isn't in your best interest? That everything that he's doing, you thought as a white man was going to be in your interest. It's not. He doesn't care about you. He's not capable of caring about anything. the good news is I think people are starting to wake up. I mean, look, the sun is coming out. Viktor Orban lost, and J.D. Vance and Trump endorsed him. There's hope. I'm hopeful. And I'm hopeful about whatever's going on with Amanda Ungaro and Melania Trump and everything that's about to drop. And you best believe, as soon as it does, I will have opinions because I am watching the Epstein files. I am waiting to hear more, and I look forward to sharing it with you. Never talk about this. Never talk